Welcome back to another episode of Out. I'm telling you, after you hit like getting close to that 1,000 mark, you just gotta find a way to make the intro more fun because then I tune out. So I know the listener probably tunes out.
Mhm.
You got any suggestions?
Well, I'm not even close to 1,000. I'm not even close to 100. So,
Well, you have an exception. They took you out purposefully because you had a what they would call harmful action.
um, technically, yeah, but
You
it's
have a show
okay.
about killing yourself. That's a
Yeah,
harmful action.
I mean, what if, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know intros. I don't do intros, I don't think.
You
I
just
think I just start.
you just kick right into it.
I think so.
That works if
Listen,
like you're a storyteller. Like some of the best stories, I feel like if you overthink it, it just comes naturally. Like I'd always tell people on the show, I was like, you can't force it. You just gotta like you're talking to me or something. Because if you try and force it, it's like forced creativity. Sometimes it doesn't end out well, but then sometimes it does.
yeah. I mean, the first part of my podcast is always like story. I'm like, hey, what's up? This is Nick. Just chill. And then just go into it. Um, but like it's not really an intro, I would say. I mean, there are always intros that are like, what's hip in the news right now? I don't give a shit about the news right now.
Would you think about have you thought about changing it up or adding something into it? Well, real quick before we get into it, for people that haven't heard you before, what is the
Mhm.
name of the show? Tell everybody what it's about. Obviously, I already hinted at it earlier about finding ways to craftily create a death scene.
Yeah, so my show is called How Will I Die Pod. It is a show about killing myself in a fun variety of ways. Not actually killing myself, but I tell a story where a version of me dies from the multiverse.
When you said not actually killing myself, I was like, would jack up your ratings though if you just did like a death scene, had like the CCP or some type of like government agent come in and just one bullet to the
Yeah,
head or something.
I mean, definitely. That would be the one, the one episode that is videotaped. I would make sure it goes live
Well,
somewhere.
what do you think creates a better story? Do you think it's just spur of the moment, like not thinking about it, or do you think it's about trying to find a way to really capture an audience? Because I always feel like the intro is the first thing. And I mean, I haven't really talked about it a whole lot on the podcast, but for the film I'm making, I wanted to talk to you specifically because you are a filmmaker. You have won awards with it, but I figured your humor lines up with my random humor that I want to capture in this, and it's hard because it's like try and get a story or a scene that's a minute long that depicts something that makes somebody understand what is going on or can completely just throws them off, but each of it has deeper meaning. When I was showing people these clips, much like I showed you clips, there were people that were thinking different ways and reacting to the scene
Hmm.
differently, which is I was like, this is what all movies really trying to inspire, and it's done from a fucking iPhone. So it's not like I'm looking for Michael Bay style directing quality, but I think it's just something new. And I think you don't truly understand what you might be good at until you've actually tried everything. And that's kind of where I hit.
I mean, that tracks because you do a lot of different like artistic things. You do painting, you do podcasts, you do movies now. Apparently, you make sick beats
A little
as
bit.
well.
I try.
So, like, what other like artistic endeavors have you done or tried at least?
I tried painting. I think we already said that, but it's
Yeah.
it was okay. I mean, I don't know. Everything's too it's I'm the type of person, I think it's a quality with ADHD. I read this in like a little meme thing, which is that you do a lot of projects, but then trying to get you to finish one is the most difficult. Like I always hate the first 10 minutes of a podcast because there's just that trying to it's like getting to know you. Like welcome to like when you bring a lover home, you don't just like a date, first date, not like you guys have been married and you're about to have kids and
Yeah.
shit. First date, when you bring them home, you don't have candles fucking lit everywhere. You don't have the red carpet treatment. You don't have like this is our honeymoon style thing. We're probably gonna kiss like every movie scene does, all the way into the door, break the door
Yeah.
down, step on your cat, shit on the floor, and then you go to the bathroom. Um,
Like every movie scene does.
that's what I got from Twilight. Um, but I I think like there's red flags there. Like I'm trying, like I started to notice a lot more. Like I always have this kind of like when I get started with something, it's very, very difficult to get me to finish it. Even a sentence, I'm
Mhm.
always off onto something else and completely lost my train of thought. Like it almost just happened a minute ago because I started thinking about this scene of like two people walking through the door. Somebody steps on like a priceless vase, and then someone uses their mom's urn and throws it up in the air and like a sprinkle of dust. I don't know. Maybe you feeling it? Are you vibing with that? Too little
I
too dark,
am.
too dark.
No, I love it.
Okay. But you get
If you're not
lost.
making out in your mother's ashes, are you even making out?
It's true love because now you have consent.
Jesus Christ.
Consent from beyond the grave. I just
Yeah.
I think creativity is probably, it's really interesting to hear how people's thoughts are. Like when you're creating something, for instance, what usually comes to your mind? You have more because you do have a bit of a dark sense of humor, but I think you have more of like a slapstick style as well too. Because I think
Mhm.
a lot of times what you see in today is like everything's a little bit too serious rather than being too just slapstick comedy. Even though if you look at anything that any politician has ever said is so slapstick, it's ridiculous. Um,
Yeah.
but I think it's important the methods that people use and the outlets that they have because I think we spend too much time modeling off of other people. Like, why would you take advice from a billionaire? I have no clue. It's because you see they have money, but at the same time, they make it so damn hard for anybody else to compete against them. So why would you
Yeah.
go against them? You wouldn't want to follow their rule plan. You want to devise your own. And I think it's just about there's an idea out there that there's only very few people that are specifically good. Like I thought about it. Like imagine if I was really good at paintings and I was really good at that, but then trying to get me to paint and trying to get me into a gallery. There's such a slim chance of that because it's already been
Mhm.
systematically put into a way that's going to be impossible for. I mean, I've come across people on fucking Twitter that are taking people's photos. Like they took a picture of the San Francisco Bridge and added a kraken in it and made it all like painting looking. And I was like, this guy's fucking talented, but you wouldn't know because there's so many people out there. It's so hard to come across that rolling stone or that small little pebble that you never even knew existed until you fucking stepped on it and it was stuck in your shoe. And then you're at home like, ah, God damn it.
Yeah. I for me, when it comes to like doing creative things, it super depends on like what type. So when I'm doing like just general writing, like I'm a journalist. I also write like short stories and poems and shit like that for publication. And like when I'm doing those things, I need to be in a very specific headspace. Like I'm working on a book right now about all of my past relationships called Her Name Was. And like
Wait, how many
some of
past
that,
relationships?
uh, 22, I think.
You whore. You're a fucking
Well, it's
whore.
it's from fucking age 4 to
Dirty
age
bird.
27.
What, your first relationship was at age 4?
Yeah, the love of my life, Emily. Yeah.
At
We
4?
played we played Power Rangers together.
Oh, she's a fucking keeper. She's a
Well,
keeper.
here's the problem. She moved away.
If I don't, you fucking move too. You find her. If she's married, not anymore. You kill him.
I have
You
tried to
kill
find
him.
her
Really?
a few times. Yeah. Very difficult to do when you know nothing about the person.
Yeah, because your relationship was at age 4. What you really consume that she liked to play the Pink Ranger, maybe?
Yep. She was Pink Ranger. I was Blue Ranger
Oh my
because blue
God.
is my favorite color.
Did you
We were a
guys make
match made in
purple?
heaven.
Did you guys make purple?
Oh yeah.
At
Even though
4
that's
years
not
old.
necessarily the color, but
Oh God. What does pink and
um
blue make?
I guess like like magenta or something. I don't know.
That shit gave me anxiety when I was in art class. And she was like, all right, kids, make purple because you only have these colors. And I was like, and I would make it, it would come out like shit brown. And I was like, God damn it.
It's
Everything
because
comes
your
out
ass
this shit
mixed all the
brown.
colors.
I did. I did. I fucking put every single one in there because you try and recover. That's everything in
Yeah.
life. As me, just my life, the reason I've gotten to where I'm at right now, which is not high at all, is because I've just made it. I thought I've died multiple times. I've had 3 near death experiences, and I might have this theory in my head now that I think it happens every 5 years. So I'm
Hmm.
immortal until that 5 year mark, and then I got to be extra fucking careful.
That tracks, honestly. I could see that happening.
I also think like the one serious incident I did have, the possibility I could have died. This could just be my brain like comatosis trying to get me through it. Like, we don't want to tell him just yet. He's not ready. I'm like, damn, it's been fucking 5 years, man. Just fucking tell him he's dead. Tell him he's in a coma. Just show him. How can we do that? I don't know. Fucking giant billboard sign right in front of him. You're in a fucking coma.
But you miss it every time, which is
Your
why you're not awake yet.
your parents' bank account's fucked.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep you alive.
I mean, we could be dead. You never know. This could be just like the last moments of our lives, like that final flash of life.
Do you, since you talk about it a lot, like on your show and stuff, do you think that, wait, are you still doing it though? I thought we talked about it last time you took a break.
Yes. So
Where the hell are
actually,
you? Hang on a second.
super exciting. Um,
Apple?
yes, I'm on Apple and Spotify
I'm
and Buzzsprout.
fucking
It's my new host. Yeah.
I have issues with Buzzsprout, Pod Nation, all those fucking people. All they care about is like, you got to follow me back. I'm like, okay, I'll follow
Yeah.
you back, and it's like they'll
I literally
unfollow you
only use it
secretly.
for the hosting, but that was because I lost my other hosting because I got dropped from my network. Um,
You should
I
never be
haven't
in a
done.
network, man.
Yeah, I fucking learned. I learned very quickly. The reason I signed on immediately was I released my second episode and my numbers were pretty good, and they reached out and I was like, all right, well, they're offering me sponsorships. I might as well just check them out, stick with them. And then 2 years pass and they let me go because I didn't post for an entire year, basically. But I still haven't posted since August of 2020. The show is coming back at the end of this year because I accidentally got a live show set up at the Los Angeles Comic Con
Your last episode was in August.
of 2020, last year.
Jesus Christ, man. Come on, let's create an episode. What do you need?
I am. I'm gonna be I'm gonna bring it back with a live episode and then regular episodes after that.
You suck my dick, I suck yours. That's how this works. Or that's not the saying, is
I
it?
don't. I
I
don't
might have
think. I
gotten that
don't. I
confused.
don't. You may have gotten a lot of things
I
confused
had
when
a
that was
weird
your
teacher
saying.
when I was in school.
Yikes.
um, no, that's, I mean, I see the weird part is like I'm not a person that's in like, I hate the tribe thinking, and that's just how we always revert to, and
Yeah.
that's everywhere you look. So I'm not in a podcast group, even though I know how good it feels to be in one where people just support you. But I'm not the type of person, like, if you feel that our relationship is so sensitive that I need to like every single one of your posts, and if I miss one like, then you have to message me saying, what's going on? Are you okay? It's like, no,
Yeah.
I can't limit myself on social media. I tell everybody that's been on the show, this extends to you, even more so than them. You gotta just message me. I will answer you as
Yeah.
soon as I possibly can. I can't with all the number of people I talk to. I'm like, my best to keep my own sanity is to step out of the thing. I got enough voices in my head. I don't need fucking more people coming in there and being like, hey, you mind sharing this? I'm like, hey, no, eat an apple.
Yeah. Go eat an apple. Yeah. No, I feel that. There's definitely like an awkward like you need to be doing this kind of vibe with a network that I understand why networks are like necessary, especially once you start getting bigger and once you like actually need people watching over your show. But like at the point that I joined the network, it was not necessary. I made $4 from our sponsorships across 2 years
That's
of
a win.
working with them. It was a win. And I got a free Manscaped set, which was really nice.
Holy shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But outside of that, it was just always me. I'm very enthusiastic about helping other people. And so when we would bring on a new podcast to the network, I would be like, oh, I'll like basically indoctrinate them into our group. So I would be liking their posts, sharing their posts constantly. And then I would post a video and fucking no one would interact with me. It just kind of pissed me off a lot, especially when I was getting kicked off. I was like, I ran your fucking system for a while because you couldn't do it, but all right, sure, I guess, whatever.
It's just very difficult because I mean everyone's trying to scratch up at the top. Like for
Yeah,
me, it's like I don't. I'm not. It's not. I'm not anti-supportive. I'll be more than happy to give advice and help people who need it, but I'm not going to let people know that I do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to openly
yeah,
say, "Come one, come all, join this. We're going to shout each other out." I'm like, you're just doing it to get attention to your fucking self. Like that's all that it is anymore. And I'm like, I don't. I'm not about that. I'm more than happy just creating the content, trying to find ways to keep it going. But really just kind of making sure I'm not miserable with it. And I think
yeah,
that's with anything that you do. I mean, how many people go to a job that they hate every single fucking day, where they literally sit in their car an extra 10 minutes and just dread going in? It's like being in school and you used to watch the clock when you used to wake up in the middle of the night, like, fuck, I got 4 hours till school. And then it's like you're not sleeping, you're just watching the minutes go down on the clock. It's because you don't want to fucking go. I don't think anybody should be forced into a position that they necessarily don't want to be put into. Life's too fucking short for that, man.
yeah. But you got to survive too, though, is the problem. Like, I'm pretty much in that situation a lot of days where I just don't want to be there. And it sucks even worse because I work from home. So, like, I'm sitting here at my fucking computer just fucking hating it.
Where do you have any of your film stuff online, or can you like tweet it at me real quick, or
Yeah,
send it in a DM? Or are you on your phone, aren't you?
I'm on my phone right now. I'll do it after the.
No, I was gonna pull it up on here.
Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second.
About to say if you have it like a certain link I can type in, I'll just type it in on the internet. Hopefully my internet doesn't shit a brick.
God, I don't know. I don't remember links. Do you remember links to things?
I mean, if you create a film, I would remember that link forever. Everything I ever create that's mine, I fucking remember. But it's very, very hard getting up to the 1,000 mark to remember every conversation I've ever fucking had. My brain has
Yeah.
reached that limit where it's just shoving out useless. Like I woke up, couldn't move my arm. I was like, fuck, I forgot how to move my right arm. It's okay. I only need the left. Oh, that was a shitty joke. I'm not going to do that again. Sorry, world.
Here is a link. I'm sending it right now.
On Twitter.
Mhm.
Do you ever get just random texts from like spam numbers are now fucking texting me? I'm like, hang on a second. Hang on a minute. You used to call me before. Like there are some people, like we all know someone that when you see a call come up, you don't answer. You wait for them to
Yeah.
text you because you rather just text. But then there's some people you don't want to get a fucking text from. You rather get a call from. And I feel that way with fucking spam calls. I'm like, I didn't want you shower time. Is this okay to play on?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Got a
It's
clickbaity
it's
article.
just comedy. No,
First off, I need to be.
secretly, this is actually my OnlyFans.
You have an OnlyFans too? God damn.
Uh,
Wait, hold on.
Unshockingly, a
Stop
lot of people
share.
have asked me for my OnlyFans.
You should have one. I'd
I should.
subscribe.
I know you would. I'm
We
fucking
got to talk about
gorgeous.
that too. I've been watching a lot of anime. We got to talk about that.
Okay.
Mostly Naruto. I didn't realize how many scenes could easily turn into like a gay porn.
Oh, so fucking many.
So many.
Who are you and what are you doing in my shower? Who, me? I'm the shower repairer. I even have a screwdriver for repairs. How did you get in here? Why do you have such a tiny screwdriver? Wow, that's really your question? Really? Sorry, just the first question then. How did you get in here? Would you believe me if I said you let me in? No, I wouldn't. Fine, you got me. I'm actually a stripogram. Hit it. Stop. I'm gonna call the police. Well, no need to be so hasty. We can work something out. Why do you look so familiar? No reason. Holy shit. You look exactly like me, but with pointier ears. Not again. You're gonna try and murder me and take over my life. It's already happened once. It's not happening again, bitch. No, 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 no,
I
no, no,
love that.
nothing like that. Not crazy. I am a shower elf.
I love how
What
you have
is
the
a
tag on your
shower
fucking
elf?
jacket still.
Yeah. How when you take a shower, you rub off all the follicles of your skin and your hair, and it all goes into the drain. Well, that combines into one thing with all the magic of the shower, you know, where you get all those thoughts, and it creates us shower elves. Super gross. Second, since I found you, does that mean I get 3 wishes? I'm not a genie. Fine. I will take a pot of gold then. Not a leprechaun either, but I do have 23 cents from your drain. Speaking of which, can you stop putting coins down your drain? It's gonna cause problems. Worst magical discovery of my life, but whatever. Can I hop in there without it being weird? I have a photo shoot for Llamas to get to. No problems here, and I've already seen everything, and I do mean everything. Cool. What's your name, by the way? I'm Elfin Hart. It's just like Morgan Hart, you know, your name, but with elf in it, because I'm quirky and was born from a shower drain, so I don't know the concept of naming. Nice to meet you. Um, we seeing a lot of each other, I guess. Uh, oh, I'm sure we will. Wink. Goodbye. Oh, one more thing. Never leave that door open when you take a shower because the water will get everywhere and mold will come,
He's
and
so
you don't
fucking
want
helpful.
that. Okay, ta-ta now. So, the entire reason for that last part was because part of the challenge is you get a character name, a character occupation, and then a line. And the line was never leave that door open. And I couldn't work it in organically, so I just literally tacked it
Just
on to the
random,
end.
random
Yeah,
helpful advice at the end. That's, I mean, that's good,
yeah.
and that's one you won an award for.
That is when I won. I won 3 awards for that. I won a Best Writing Award, and then a Viewer's Choice Award, and Best Film Award.
Do you think that a lot of people have issues with comedy, even though everyone likes to laugh? Do you think that it might be on a concept if they didn't create it first?
I think that comedy is super hard to like seek out as something that you want to do. Um, because first of all, everyone's done some version of something,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. But also, like, you gotta know who you're playing to in order to get laughs, and a lot of people don't recognize that. They'll make jokes that are funny to themselves. That's not how you get people to enjoy what you like. You have to get them to enjoy their stuff first and then sprinkle in your own stuff until eventually they start to turn into basically carbon copies of you. That's why people like John Mulaney are so popular. It's because he does stuff that's like surface level, pretty normal, verging on abnormal, and then he'll throw something in there that's fucking wild for no reason.
Who are some of like your, I would say, top directors in your mind, or people that you pull inspiration from? It doesn't have to be just directors. It can just be just people in general.
Um, so here's the problem. I don't really watch things. Um, I have incredible encyclopedic knowledge of like movies and television shows and video games and fucking anime and comic books, but I don't actually consume those things. I just gather the knowledge for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I can like pinpoint a movie without ever having seen it. And I used to do that with an old roommate a lot. I would walk out and she would be watching a movie and I'd be like, this is the Iron Cross by fucking Peter Jackson or something. I don't think that's a movie, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So like I don't really have I guess influences like that. I guess generalized comedy TV shows, especially Comedy Central and Adult Swim, circa like 2002 to 2011, probably.
What if you had to pick a time period of where you think your humor was formed? Like I think probably a lot of my like random sense of humor as well too probably stems from watching Family Guy a lot when I was a kid, just the random
Hmm.
bouts and the sporadic things. It's kind of like people now that are suffering from a disease from TikTok. They're getting random ticks. Did you hear about that?
No.
There's a large amount of girls in the UK that are going in to the doctor's office complaining about like this random sporadic just spasm, and it's TikTok is creating ticks, like causing them not to outright burst and make a video of themselves, but just randomly like this kind of incessant like little tick that they have now.
Hmm. I mean, we had that, but it was because all of our hair was long back in the day. Uh,
Yeah, to
which
slick
I
back.
say
Yeah,
right now with the longest fucking
it's
hair I've
good.
ever had because I haven't had a haircut in 2 years since 2019.
You said that last fucking time too. You were gonna get a
Yeah,
haircut.
I still haven't gone. I think I'm gonna shave my head this next week, actually. Just fucking go at it myself because um
Shave it and then put it
so
on video so I can just put it in my film randomly. I'll have like a
oh,
black and white
absolutely.
shot and I'll just have you going. At
I'll
least you
I'll do
didn't
that for you.
shave your head. Like I had something important when I shaved my head. I never shaved like this is a haircut. This is a
Mhm.
fucking I got my Superman curl, everything. Um, but I shaved my head during the pandemic when everything was shut down because my hair was getting so long. I was doing video on my podcast. Worst fucking mistake of my life because I shaved it and it was just I scalped myself. I went deep into my I think I have a piece of my hair on one side of my thing. It just doesn't it's just barely growing back now and it's almost been two
Yeah.
years.
Oof. I definitely do need a haircut. So I mentioned that I have a bunch of fans going. I sleep with fans at night. A lot in the last year, I've gotten my hair caught in the fans and just ripping out. And that's
Jesus.
shitty already because I already have a giant fucking bald spot up here. And so like that's why I wear hats. You'll notice that I've only ever worn a hat while talking to you. That's because I just have a bunch of fucking not hair up here and it fucking sucks.
There was a myth that if you wore a hat, you're gonna end up losing hair there. But someone said it was a myth. And I was like, but if you look at every golfer that has ever golfed in his life and has worn a hat, it's remarkably noticeable. It's kind of like when they say the presidency ages you like 4 years. You just watch
Hmm.
people go down this fucking shitstorm.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some truth to it in some way. Like when you put on a hat, it pulls the hair, and then eventually, if you do it enough times, it pulls it out.
You fucking
I
sleep
get
next
it.
to a fan, it pulls your hair, it yanks it out. Why do you have them that close? What the hell?
I sleep hot, basically.
Don't you have
So
AC?
like I need to I yeah, I
You fucking
assume I
looked at
do,
me
but I
like
don't
I
fucking know.
you looked at me like I don't have the answer.
I rent rooms from people.
Okay.
That's how I get by. So I don't control that shit. So sometimes it'll be fucking 100 goddamn degrees in here during the day. So I just lay down in front of 3 fans currently. I've got one on each side and then one on my feet.
I like to be frozen basically at night because I like to wrap myself in the
Same.
blanket. But like when I start sweating, I rarely sweat. Only, unless I'm doing like 6 hours of cardio, I'll sweat my ass off.
Hmm.
Like fucking, I'll get acne like up here, but I never sweat. So also my nose shrinks when I sweat. I have all my
That's
sweat glands
interesting.
are practically in my nose. So like if I go like this and I try really hard, I can squeeze out sweat.
That's really gross and weird,
But
but awesome at the
that's the
same time.
only place I fucking like sweat basically. And it's weird. It's like a genetic thing because my dad's like, you're lucky you have it like sweat glands in your nose. Because every time I was a little kid, whenever I go out, whatever, if it's sunny out, whatever, go to the beach, I always get burnt first thing on my nose. Doesn't matter if
Hmm.
I'm out 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's always sunburn right on the top of the nose. But my dad's like, you're lucky you got sweat glands in your nose because I have them in where the armpits are. I have to wear 2 shirts. My dad, his whole life, has had to wear 2 shirts. My grandpa's like, man, I got it on my feet. Like he's got sweat glands in his fucking feet. And he has to wear like double socks sometimes, or he has to wear no socks. So he just gets air going through it. Like it's a weird genetic fucking trait. But it's like interesting because like I notice everyone's like, is your nose sweating? I'm like, it's the only place I fucking sweat. The only place. Everywhere else is
That's wild.
it takes a long time for it to sweat there, but it's always here. I can just fucking squeeze it. I wake up in
I
the middle of
mean,
the night and
that's
it's
an easy way to get rid of it, I guess.
if they fucking, I'd rather get all the sweat glands out of my nose. It's fucking terrible. During the mask thing, like when that was at its peak, I was like the only
Oh
goddamn
yeah,
place I sweat, and it's fucking covered up. You're just like, it was terrible, dude.
that's gotta suck. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, that's why I was mad. I was like, just you make one where the fucking just plugs up the nose. Like, can I wear nose plugs or a gimp mask where, at least my whole fucking face is covered?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's funny.
When for that shower scene, I want to go back to that. When you were creating those lines, was that all improv? Like, did you just let the camera flow and just start saying lines, or because you had to chop it up? You could tell where. I don't like when people
Yeah,
add transitions into films. I fucking think it looks terrible. I'd rather it just cut away to another scene. You know what I mean?
there are definitely sometimes when I think transitions are necessary, especially like so. There's a 5 minute time limit, and I hit that a lot because I put a lot of writing. It fucking it's so shocking how different time is on paper compared to like filming. So like I'll film something and it's maybe like 6 lines on paper, and it's like 2 minutes in person if I'm doing like a monologue or something. It fucks me up every time. So I try and write like an outline of like jokes that I want to get to. Um,
And
which
it's
in
like,
that one, I didn't even get to the jokes that I wanted to get to. There's an entire section after the screwdriver scene, which was supposed to be a dick joke, but I forgot to put the dick joke part in. And then I was supposed to, because he introduces himself, he's like, I'm a shower elf. And I'm like, haha, shelf. Just because that was the original name of it. That was the first thing that I had thought of was
oh
shelf.
shit, I got it. That took
And
me a
then
minute.
yeah, shelf, shower elf. Um, and then like I completely forgot to do that part. I completely forgot to do other things, and like it sucked. And you may notice in some of my short films, I just suddenly have a phone in my hand, and that's because I'm just reading off what I wrote. Because I only get 50 hours to do these things, and I typically only have like realistically like maybe 13 hours, and devote like 5 of that to editing if I have to do like really intense editing. Um,
I like the
but
editing
like
process. I just it
I hate it.
I
It's
have
my
the
least favorite part.
my issue is I have the idea in my head and I have the vision and like I can see it perfectly. It's just trying to explain it in a way that doesn't make you come off like when I'm trying to like talk to people about this or like if I was doing photography back in the day, I got really interested into that.
Mhm.
I would go and get like I randomly stop my car in the middle of the fucking street and just run across the thing and get like a low angle of like an alley where the light's creeping in. It just looks fucking beautiful. And my buddy's like, "You take really good pictures," but he's like, "It's so hard to skateboard with you because I'll be like 10 streets down, I'll look back and you're not fucking there. You're fucking 30 streets back taking a photo in a fucking alley on the floor." And I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
I see the angle in my head and I immediately got to act on it." It's like when I was doing some filming scenes. I was at stop my car. Like, this is fucking perfect. Just go fucking get this idea out, whatever. And then whatever I get, like it's so hard because once you're filming and then you stop and you go home and you look at it, you're like, fuck, I thought I did it differently.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. There are definitely shots that I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so fucking cool. And then when I like actually watch them back, it's just like a basic shot. And I'm so sad about it. I did a horror thing recently, which was supposed to be like uh basically Saw like.
Did you record it or do you have the,
I made it. I made the whole thing. I made it with a friend.
well, let me pull it
Um
up. Where is it? Send it.
okay, let me grab it for you.
Send me all your works. It's going to be amazing for the video people, but then for the audio listeners, you're like, what the
Yeah,
fuck are they looking at?
it's gonna be very confusing.
Well, I'm so impressed by anything like I don't like people say like, oh, my podcast isn't like number one or all this and that. I'm like, what, dude, you got a listener, be fucking happy, man. Like I don't understand why people want to they a lot of people judge themselves off people I don't think they should be judging themselves off of. Like we're in a strange time when our billionaires are influencers or when I don't know necessarily you shouldn't be looking to an actor to give you fucking medical advice. I'm just saying. Matthew McConaughey, if you're listening, don't fucking tell me what to do.
Also shouldn't be listening to podcasters who have no medical training.
I don't have any medical training. Don't
Joe
listen to me.
Rogan.
I don't listen to him on anything either.
Me neither.
I do.
Refuse to at
I
this
only
point.
see a lot of time here. I want to get this out of the way as well too. I appreciate Joe Rogan because once I started talking to a lot of people, I started understanding more about what his whole total goal is. It's not really about trying to put in. You saw in the very first couple hundred, even with me as well too. I had my strong
Mhm.
beliefs and opinions, but I think now I'm more open. Because I've understood more perspectives, and I think that's the point where he's kind of at too. All right, I'm gonna play this real quick.
Okay.
It's called Absorbed.
Yeah.
Who is this girl?
That is my friend Abigail from
She's
college.
gorgeous. Is she married now?
No, this is her now.
Well, this is October 26th.
Yeah.
Long time no talk.
Yeah, for sure. How have you been, Jesse?
Good. I've been good. Work has been hectic with everything happening here.
I bet.
That was a bomb.
Teaching history must suck since all the cool people are dead.
I mean, the bad people are dead too.
True. Kids give you any guff about your name yet, Miss Stefani?
Nope. Thankfully, none of them know who that is.
Oh, good. Hey, I had a question for you.
Shoot.
Do you have any memory of this?
Vaguely, I remember it being in Mom and Dad's stuff when they died.
I thought so. Here's the thing. I know I put it away so I forget about it. But then this morning I woke up and it was just on my shelf.
Ooh, maybe it's haunted and you just became its next victim.
If I am haunted by this thing, I order the ghost inside to take care of you first.
Damn, Nick.
Brian, we all know that.
I mean,
Between
Brian.
us, you're shuffling
Yeah.
out this mortal coil first.
True. I am a daredevil. Always pulling stunts.
Bite it.
Weird. There was just a noise. Maybe I am haunted.
One can only hope. Hey, I have to get going.
Oh
Jenna's
my
on her way
God.
for date night.
It's a movie.
Alright.
Horror.
Enjoy your J&J night then. I'll
The fuck is
keep you
J and
updated on the
J?
haunting situation. Her name is Jessie and the other girl's
Oh.
name was Jenna, I think.
Oh,
You don't
is that an
feel
Amazon
stupid.
box in the window? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. He's got a sword hanging. I noticed the Amazon thing is that fucking smile, whatever it is. Is that still there? I saw you look over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking priceless.
So I bought this curtain thing that only goes like 3/4 of the way, and then I put 2 boxes to finish it off.
Okay. All right. Let's play the rest of it.
Oh, by the way, gore warning.
Is it coming
It's
through my?
probably nothing.
Why does it sounds like I got a damn vacuum cleaner hanging on the fucking thing?
Yeah, no, that's the video.
Oh, why the hell did I jump? Why did I jump? What the fuck? It's it's a horrible CGI, but Jesus Christ, that
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
graphicness of it. Oh my God.
Hello, this is Brian Stefani.
You should have said like next day or some shit. Jesus Christ. I'm still fucking shocked. You need some buffer in this part right here.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Do you have a fan on when you're recording this?
That is my computer.
Dude.
I just
got
yeah,
my
I know.
God.
Like an hour ago. She was fine. Okay. How did she pass?
She fell on some scissors.
Stabbed herself in the eye. Jessie wouldn't kill herself.
How long is this? You got a
Not
Power
with
Ranger helmet.
scissors.
Red Ranger. You lying sack of shit.
like
You said
on the
Blue
back.
Ranger.
I was Blue Ranger as a kid. Also, they don't have a Blue Ranger helmet. That's cheap. I got a bunch of stuff on that shelf.
How long is this video?
It's 5 minutes.
You're haunted.
Told you my ADHD is really bad.
No, I get it. These scenes were so fucking long for no reason.
Do it.
They go in your mouth?
Yep.
What it tastes like?
Static. Because it's CG.
Don't you get a pair of fucking scissors too? No, fuck you. Don't you do it. What are you doing? What are you about to do?
Okay.
What are you doing? Don't you? Oh, Jesus H. Why with the scissors? That's my biggest fear with scissors.
Okay, here's the funniest fucking thing.
God damn. I can't even bring them up that close to my face. I get fucking scared, man.
I've done multiple horror things. Every single time, I forget that I used scissors in the last one, and I do scissors again. I know how to work with scissors as a horror device.
Dude, what the hell? When that went through her eye, it was like that. And I can't wait to watch this back and just watch me literally freak the fuck out.
It's fucking beautiful.
Oh my God. That's just always been my biggest fear. When I was a kid, I was in a 3rd grade class. And it was a new school for me. And I don't know what happened. Someone had like their pencil stuck up against like a textbook, but it was angled straight up. And I remember I did something. I slammed my hand down, and this part right here, like right the inner lining of my like palm where the skin is right here, it ripped all this. I mean, deep, like it was a flap of skin you could pull, like it was just dangling down like a giant long flap. I remember I had to go to the hospital for that. I was like, so whenever something like eyes scare the hell out of me. Whenever I seen a movie scene where it goes into the eyes, I'm like, no, I'm skipping that shit. Fuck that. I don't ever get scared at stuff.
See, but it's
react.
it's the easiest thing to get the most visceral reaction from,
'Cause
and
they're
that's
so
what I go
soft.
for. Yep, it's horrifying. The idea of it is horrifying.
It's like when I see someone's open, like they have their feet like on a pillow and it's like next to you or something. I'm like, oh, you fucking peasant. I'm like, what? I'm like, I fucking hate when feet are near me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, same.
I'm all right with my own, but I just don't like it when someone has like their open-toed shoe or something and you're on an airplane and people think it's casual to put it up or put it like
Yeah,
their legs right next to you. You're like, excuse me, do you like your foot? I do. Well, I'm going to break it the fuck off if you don't move it.
be prepared to not have it if you keep that there.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to drop the F word where I can. I think it has more impact into what I say.
I think when it comes to threats, the most casual version of like I'm gonna fucking stab you, just like something like, if you keep coming near me,
I'm going to
this knife is gonna enter your chest.
Yeah, you're
I
describing it
promise.
more. You're describing it more.
Yeah.
It's like a polite crackhead.
Yeah.
The horrible one's like, I suck your dick. Like, they scream at you. Like, don't fucking tell me what I'm going to do. And it's like, but if they ask politely, sir, could I, he's got a boot on his head or something, like Vernon Supreme comes up, sir, could I bother you for one quick second where I just lightly ask if you could please suck my penis? You know, you're such a damn polite crackhead. You might be missing a couple teeth, but damn it, if I don't like the cut of your jib, and then you fucking go down to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. We've all been there.
You got to be in those tough situations. You got to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fucking graphic. I'm like dead. Like I'm smiling because I'm going to look back and watch that specific part. I'm going to snip at that. That was great. Oh my God. I literally involuntarily kicked my desk and it's a shitty desk. That's good. Is now where do you get the horror inspiration from? Because you're picking real actual deaths that have happened, but you're changing the scenarios to where it's you. So do you read fully into it? Because at the beginning you alluded to the fact that you don't really look at a lot of content or watch a lot of things. And I think a lot of people do that as a creative endeavor. Like I don't like to watch a lot of shows or other people's
Mhm.
shows that base around the conversation aspect. Like Joe Rogan's, even I have to be very careful if I hear something. I got to make sure it's not coming. I got to look it up and then I got to filter it through my own head because of a concept of I don't want to take other people's work. And if I
Right.
do say something that is from somebody else, I like to give them credit as much as I can possibly remember.
That is fully why I changed it. Because the original concept of it was I was going to do the show in the moments leading up to their actual deaths and talk about the actual people dying. But I realized A, I get sued very hard for that. And also B, like that is just like a shitty way to go about it. So that's why I ended up making it about me dying, because if I've read like uh, uh just the very first episode I ever did, I was just casually scrolling on Facebook and I came across like a Darwin's Awards.
Yeah, we talked
Uh,
about that before.
yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a podcast about this because I really like talking about death sometimes. It's fun. And I was like, how can I do this in a way that's not like super gross or like profiting off of the deaths of people? Because it technically is, but also like I make it my own. And I do give in like the second part of each podcast, after I tell the story with the jokes and stuff, I'm like, hey, by the way, this is about a real person who died and it was in 1973, blah, blah, blah. So I do give people credit, but like I wanted to not just talk about the deaths themselves. I wanted to give a fictionalized version of what would happen leading up to the deaths. So I think that's why like I could just sit here and read off about like 10,000 people a year pull vending machines onto themselves. That's fucking boring.
It
Instead,
happens a lot.
yeah, instead, I created a character who had a soda can stuck in there, pulled it on top of himself, and it was a fucking funny episode. Like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of like ever plagiarizing, and it definitely stems from like all my time in college as a very English major and my time as a journalist. Like that shit gets you fucking blackballed anywhere you go.
It's kind of like stealing
So,
jokes in comedy. You end up getting,
mhm.
you know,
Well,
it's hard because you don't know when you accidentally take something. Like if you're gonna make a film, for instance, like I was thinking about this, is like how can I do this but make it my own? Like I want
mhm,
it to be like if people who know me watch it, they go, "That's a Robbie film." You know what I mean? I don't want it to be anything that's really been created before, but there's been so many different ways of things being created. The best thing you can do is to
yeah,
not try and copy the whole entire aspect of it.
right. And there's definitely a need for like homage in filming, in podcasting too, I guess, in a way that like you can take aspects of the way that someone shoots something. Like so in that video in Absorbed, my original idea was to do, have you, if you've seen Saw, you know that there's like this chaotic camera movement
Yeah.
where it's like different shots shaking. My original plan was to do that, but then first of all it was super long, and then also um it just wasn't me. Like it was very specifically I was trying to go for Saw, and that's not really like my style. My style is more straightforward to the camera. um and so like there's definitely a need for homage
The
in
fuck you
these
looking at
things.
now?
A piece of hair.
Oh,
Just,
I thought you were about to
it
pull out
it
another
like
thing of
stuck.
what was the last one you pulled out? Cheez-Its or something?
No, it was Rice Krispie treats. I have
Okay.
them in my drawer. That same box, just sitting in my drawer. I haven't eaten them.
I would throw them out. They're probably actually they probably last a really long
Yeah, no,
time.
they're fine. They're non-perishable
I
food, I
was
think.
eating so a little bit. Why am I hearing myself? Where do you have the other headpiece?
Right next to the microphone.
About to say it's talking. I'm hearing myself. But the can of tuna is like it says 2024. I'm like, what the fuck did they put in here to make it preserve so long? Like pickled herring is like 20.99. You're like, Jesus Christ. What are you going through now? How many snacks do
I
you have on
have
your thing?
These are my lunches. I have
Do you
tuna.
never leave your room?
It's good.
I'm
And I
sorry. I
park
didn't mean
here.
it like in a bad way. I just meant like you have them all. I don't have any food in my room for a specific reason is I can't handle that. It needs to stay
It's
in the kitchen.
2023. So the problem is,
You have roommates.
I do. Yeah, I have roommates. I've never used our kitchen because I don't understand it because they have a tiny ass.
Wait, this is
I
this is the door, right? That when you can't open it up all the way because of the thing, there's something built there.
No, that was
Okay.
the other place. I used to
Dude, 1,000 conversations, bro. I'm fucking pulling
no,
this
I
out
know,
of
no,
memory.
no, 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 I know. No, this one has a tiny ass oven that's like inset in the wall, and
That's
then
right.
a flat top, which confuses the shit out of me. So I just don't use it.
Don't you have a
Um,
microwave?
yeah, I microwave stuff,
What's
but
your
like
ideal kitchen though? Like what's the success that you would define making it if you had an ideal kitchen? Like I've thought about this playing Minecraft and shit. If I ever get like this idea to build shit, I just have to go to Minecraft and get it out of my head because I would love to design. I wanted to be an architect at one point. I
mhm,
really then they were like, "We got to know math really well." And I'm like, "Fucking throw that out the door. I'm fucking
yeah,
done." Um but I thought like success is having like a nice fridge, microwave, and then when you have a fucking espresso machine. I don't even drink espresso, but I just want it there so people know how fucking awesome I am when they fucking walk in. It's like having a bookshelf. The only reason you have a bookshelf if you don't fucking read is so everyone thinks that you read.
yeah, I agree.
All right.
Um, I don't I don't really have like a kitchen
I'm
dream
glad
just
we could
because I
see those
don't.
terms.
Yeah, I don't have one because I don't see myself in the kitchen a lot. Like I used to fucking cook. Like there was a one point in my life where I was like, I'm finna be a chef. But then that definitely didn't work out because I'm too lazy for that. I don't like working long hours,
Yeah.
and when you're a chef, you have to work long fucking hours. But like I always love cooking. I also hate prep. Like that's the worst part of it. I only got through prep when I was doing like really big meals by watching YouTube videos and listening to music. Um, so like a kitchen isn't really my thing, but I guess like a K-cup machine for me, like one that I own would be pretty nice because I've never owned one.
I mean, my buddy had one. I used to use it all the time, but I like just regular coffee. Just put it in the thing. Like I'll add whatever I want into it.
I
A
don't
couple.
drink coffee.
See, I'm trying to cut caffeine right now. I've had two Bang
Yeah,
energy drinks
I
before this
did that.
podcast,
Jesus.
and that was only in an hour.
Jesus, dude. That's
I
bad for you.
my doctor called, and my supervisor was standing next to me, and I was like, "How many energy drinks do I drink like a day? I don't know, probably like 3 or 4." And she's like, 3 or 4, and then my buddy goes, 5 or 6. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
be honest. What's your actual answer? I'm like, well, it depends on the day. If it's a Monday, I'm doing 5 or 6. If it's a Tuesday, I'm probably doing 6 or 8. I don't know. They're cheap.
Yeah.
That bill adds up though.
I've
Jesus
had
Christ.
these for over a year now.
Is that Mountain Dew?
Yeah, Mountain Dew Rise.
I don't do that shit.
I mean, I don't either, but I have them. They've just been sitting here for a year now.
Do you have a landline?
I do not, no. I'm too mobile for that.
I just thought a scene. I was like, I would love if someone had a landline. I can get this work.
I have a very old phone from like the 80s. Not like a landline, but like
Does
a
it
cell phone
work?
from the 80s.
A cell
I
phone
don't
from the
know.
80s? What the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe 90s. I don't know. I'm not a fucking
Cell phones weren't
timeologist.
invented in the 80s. That's a cocaine idea in the 80s. That was just a thought that was huffed up the nose and pushed out the brain in a quick instant.
Whenever the brick phones were invented, I don't fucking
The
know.
really tall ones that you would hear clicking, and then next thing you know, you wouldn't have the phone up to your head, and you'd be missing parts of your memory.
Yeah. I don't know where it went. I thought I had it on my computer.
I have an old not Scooby Doo, Snoopy phone where it's Snoopy and he's holding his hand up and you place the phone. That's the receiver is his hand. It goes down. And then it's like a tall one. It looks actually like Snoopy. And then he's got the little bird sitting beside him on the thing. It's got the beep 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 boop,
Mhm.
dial. Shit. It's nice.
I would like to go back to those times where we had fucking novelty phones, the Michael Jordan basketball phone, like the cheeseburger phone. Like, why don't we have those
I
anymore?
just want to go back to when restaurants weren't so high tech, when they were just so low and advanced, like retro style when you used to walk in. Like if you look at the old pictures of like vintage restaurants compared to like newer
Mhm.
ones now, everything new, the table fucking lights up. The kids aren't even paying attention to, they're just having, all they want to do is go to McDonald's because you get to have fun at that fucking table. And then when you're there, you just get hungry because the smells in the air. Like I've said this since the beginning of my show. Nothing beats like a butter biscuit from fucking Popeyes. I wish someone would put that in a goddamn air freshener. It's fucking amazing. That's my one like heaven deluxe treat, I would say. My other heaven scenario is like just a chocolate milkshake in an old school retro diner. I like the retro feel of shit. I like the vintage, the
Mhm.
classic jukebox where you're hitting the fucking bumper and you hear the ding 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 ding. I fucking love that. But everything now is too damn futuresque. Like I'm using a rental car right now. First of all, it's got a crack in the windshield. It was like maybe it like the size of like your finger or something.
Mhm.
I've drove it 2 days. The bitch has gone all the way completely across the windshield now. Like fuck.
Oh shit.
Because they're fixing the roads and the roads are all bumpy and shit. So I'm like, I'm just
Mhm.
watching it. I'm like, this is gonna like break and go into my eye. And that's what I was thinking about this morning. I was like, Jesus Christ, I would fucking hate that. And then
God.
you showed me that shit a minute
Yeah,
ago.
the worst
Um,
thing to be putting in your head.
the worst part is not that you didn't warn me, is that I am the one that's pulling it up. So I have to watch that. And then I didn't even know that was coming. Oh God. I
I did.
fucking
To be fair, I did say gore warning
uh,
before
yeah,
that
like
happened.
I didn't know gore's like you see blood splatter, not fucking a pair of scissors go into somebody's eye. That's like a description I would love to know. It's like when you're reading the back of a DVD. Okay, it's just Keanu Reeves chasing after a bad guy. And then you watch the movie. It's like there's so much more to this story than that.
Yeah.
Um, but what was I fucking talking about? Yeah, there it goes. Oh yeah,
No fucking
I'm in
clue.
my the technology. I'm in my new the
Yep.
new car and the keys. You just need to be in the car with the keys and it'll start and everything. So I was like, I'll just throw it in my bag and I'll fucking that's it. I don't ever have to pull it out. I just have it on my back. So, you're working, whatever, and you come back out, unlock for you. You just put your hand on the handle, go inside. You're driving. You know your keys are with you, even though you haven't seen them. You don't have them in your hands. They're in
Mhm.
your bag though. You drive. As soon as I get home, I'm like, well, that was fucking awesome. Then I'm walking up to my door and I'm like, fuck, I gotta get my keys out. And I grab my keys, unlock my door, and I was like, so there's two paths. There's one, no new shit, no more of that because then you get used to it and then you'll be upgrading your fucking home to where you can just have your keys are in your pocket, they unlock your fucking door. That's gonna come. That's probably already out there. I didn't even create it.
That's how it was at my old house.
So that's the thing is like, or you like it so much you just decide to upgrade your life, and then what doesn't that lead to hacking? Somebody could easily hack the code generator thing in my car and fucking get into my car and drive my car off all by knowing this certain code. Somebody could do that to your fucking house, and you're looking at your door like it's probably going to happen in a second.
No, my podcast Twitter was hacked last week.
What?
Yeah.
Why did people just hate? It's probably your old network being like, "Fuck this motherfucker."
No, what happened was
No.
when I set up the account, I set it up with a temporary password. I was like, oh, I'm gonna change it. And the password was the email address. So it was not a difficult thing to hack into.
Was it hacked or was it locked?
No, it was hacked.
Oh,
Like
okay.
someone signed into it, changed all the information.
Did you get a random
Um,
sketchy call that was like, your social has been hacked. What are your social numbers?
nope.
Like, excuse me, I don't think you work for the fucking Pentagon.
I got 2 notifications on my phone, but it was like I had just gone to sleep. So I wasn't fucking waking up for it. And then I noticed it was hacked. They changed the email address and I got an email notification about that. And so I sent a message to my own fucking thing. I was like, really? Dude, really? You couldn't just wait like a month? I have so much shit coming up. You need to give me my account back. And then I got it back from like Twitter themselves. And they're like, you need to change your password and put on to 2-factor.
I think the one thing I've changed about my life since I was probably like 16 years old is, do you have anything in the world that you care about so much to go to the extent of adding an authentication on your phone, also on 3 separate different devices? Like my buddy locks all his shit like it's Fort Knox. I'm his best fucking friend for like 11 years now, and I don't know any of his fucking passwords to shit. So I'm like, how do I get on your computer? He's like, password is 6969. I was like, I typed it in, didn't fucking work. I was like, didn't work. He goes, password is 7252. I'm like, fucking 7252. Let me type this shit in. Didn't work, dude. He goes, you think I'm going to give you my fucking password? I was like, dude, what do you have? I'm your friend. Even if you got porn on the computer, I'm not going to fucking like use it against you. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. You know what I mean? And he goes, no, I just, my private shit, dude. I'm not letting anybody on my shit. I was like, I'm your best friend for fucking, I was there. I've been through so much with you. You're not going to give me your fucking password. He goes, all right, you're right. You're right. It's 212. I'm like, 212. It's not even 4 fucking letters or fucking numbers. He goes, yeah, I'm not giving you my password. And the fact that you keep falling for it shows how gullible you fucking are, that you would tell it to somebody. I'm like, I wouldn't. I keep secrets. But it's like, how much
You
are you
just said
willing?
all those
I
numbers
know,
right now. So
because they're imaginary numbers.
yeah.
They didn't fucking exist. They were all ploys of the government. It just depends on, like, I've noticed that I used to be like, when I was a kid, I used to be so like steadfast in my convictions. I would say there are a few things now I still very, very care about a lot, and I think it more boils down to, like, my supervisor just said this to me recently. I've been through 4 fucking supervisors now at work. I've been in this place like 2.5 years. I went through 4 fucking supervisors, and I feel like I have trust issues now. Um, but my buddy, he's now the new supervisor, not the one I was just talking about with the passwords, a different one. He's just a friend from work, and he was telling me, he goes, yeah, I'm gonna be the new supervisor, and I'm like, oh, right on. I was like, like it's 4 supervisors now. He's like, yeah, I'll be here, and I was like, I'm very loyal. And he goes, you know what? I'm starting to notice that about you. I was like, that's one thing I've always held, is that I have loyalty like a motherfucker. But when you do betray me, I just cut off ties. I'm like, I can't fucking do it. But I am there with you day one, A1. You need me, I'm fucking there. You can ask anybody. And that's one thing I've kept through. But everything else I've started to notice, I don't care about a lot of stuff anymore. I care about people. But when it comes to, like, the only time, I think the last time I ever got an authentication thing for my phone was for fucking RuneScape. And that was because I did some shady back like deal at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I got a random call from a number that was unknown that asked, are you this? And they said my username. And I bought $10 million in gold for RuneScape. And I put an authentication on in case they wanted to hack my account. But I haven't cared about anything like that in a long fucking time. My passwords, the shit. The only thing I care about is my fucking, I guess, my bank account. But that's it. There's not a whole lot like the passwords to my podcast, but like, who's willing to go that into something? You know what I mean? Like, even out of spite,
Yeah.
that just seems like a very, very disturbed person. If anybody's going to try, like, what did they get their rocks off or something? Sometimes people like that chase, but I'm like, if you really want the ultimate thrill, please go after the fucking government. I dare
Yeah.
you to break in that fucking firewall and watch you disappear. Just watch you fucking go, and nobody knows your mom's going to be calling every single fucking animal shelter looking for your ass. But no, they want to attack people that are maybe getting a start, maybe getting this. I don't know. It's just so fucking crazy. That's why it's so good now
There's
that you
so
can
many
have.
better people to go after.
Well, the interesting part is now you're not just on one platform, you're on so many different platforms now with social
Mhm.
media, where if they do eliminate one of your things or take down one of your things, let's say they hacked your anchor, and it eliminates, it's still going to be on Spotify. So then you don't have to like
Yep.
redo all those episodes. It's not like work has been lost. It's just you have to take those and then just RSS feed it back to whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the good part about technology, I guess. I don't know.
I'm pretty fine with losing literally everything.
They're gonna make digital clones of
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I wish I had $1 billion,
Oh, no.
because I would fucking give you your own like professional camera and shit, and I would just have you go record just a bunch of shit.
I would do it.
Because you have good, that's very good improv in that fucking shower thing. That was very good improv, and I'm like, I think that's kind of what your thing is. It's like, I just gave you something that, film wise, run with it, dude. Because I think
Mhm.
the best part about it is that you don't see a lot of people's creativity mixed into things, and where you do see that is on shows. When you see animated shows, those are like
Mhm.
different directors and artists and all these people sitting in a boardroom and talking about this thing. A film is always just one vision. It's that director's vision. That's why it's very weird. Like Ballad of Buster Scruggs was really good because it was a
Yes.
bunch of different movies in one. And I think that's important because you have all these people spinning their own tales. And I think that shows something different than what everybody already knows. When you see fucking It, or you see whatever this, you know it's a fucking horror movie. You know it's going to be done a little bit differently, but it's just going to be like every other horror movie. You need something different right now. And I think that either boils down to reaction videos or Twitch. Like Twitch is getting super big now. I don't know what the
Mhm.
world's going to come to. It's going to come into an era of shit. I don't know. I was in a fucking live thing of just watching the Rittenhouse thing, the court case that's been going
Mhm.
on. So many people were donating like $500, $800. I'm like, Jesus Christ, let me go to their fucking profile, like one of their videos, and maybe they'll come across me and give me some of that
Yeah.
money. But you're starting to see is like people, this is a weird time where people are just procreating and pro supporting other people. Where if you started a GoFundMe, and I think the interesting part is just people giving you faith that
Mhm.
that they trust you. Like for me, asking you to do something, I'm just having, you don't know anything really about this movie. You get the gist of what I explained to you, but you're just having faith that you know me. You know, I'm not going to use it for nefarious gain. And it's just like doing this podcast for the first time. You're entering a whole nother world where you're talking to someone you've never met before and hoping that it goes well and hoping you don't say something stupid that might affect how it might make you look. But I think you can't think about all that. I think you just have to have more trust in people. And sadly, I wish we were in a society where you could have more trust in people.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I think that there's definitely a perceived trust that a lot of people play on, which is unfortunate, especially for younger people and like really older people, especially with things like Twitch, just live streaming in general, because you have people who are like, oh, I'm so young and just trying to live my life. But then on the back end, they're like really fucking shitty people. And so, like,
Well, it's the optics
you,
of how things look. I think me and you both know people that really are this way online and they're not that way in
oh,
person.
for sure.
Because I've had so many people like recommend, like, you should talk to this person, you should talk to this person. I was like, I don't get good vibes from that person. Like,
Hmm.
I don't feel like, there seems like there's another thing there. Like, it's like people wonder why I don't reach out to famous people a lot. I'm like, it's because it turns into an interview, because people only want to do things that they feel like they can benefit from rather than just be
Yep.
open to doing stuff, just because they might enjoy actually doing it. It's a lot about pleasing other people rather than pleasing yourself. I mean, I'm not above that either. There are some aspects in my life I would love to just do things easier for myself than do things for other people. I'm not saying you have to go above and beyond, but I think the aspect in society that we need to really talk about and look at is like just trust a little bit more. Maybe not like
Hmm.
trust a crackhead to be able to do some good stuff with your funds, maybe, but I think in an aspect of like there are a lot of good people out there like yourself, and I feel like they're they just haven't been given the opportunity because not a lot of people are more than willing to put something on the line with very little information about a person. I was like, the best thing that I can do is I don't have money to spend on this project, but I have people that are willing to give me the time and give me a little bit of it, not money wise, I meant time, to
Yeah.
be able to create something where they're involved in it as well too. It's not me succeeding. It's not the way you can't think of it is I'm doing all this for this person. The way you think of it is
Hmm.
like I'm doing something and I'm a part of this thing that's being created. It's a more of a hive thinking. In a lot of aspects, I hate hive tribal thinking. But I love the feeling you get when you're in a group and everyone agrees with you. But you can't be comfortable in that. You can't be where it's comfortable. You have to go where it's uncomfortable. You have to do things on your own. Don't be afraid to ask for help because that's different from hive thinking. When you're
Hmm.
asking for help and you're relying, you can take their input. You can do this, but you're working together rather than just being all on the same side. It's a combination of shit. If I toss out a bad idea, if I toss out a bad thought, stop me. Say, I don't know if I agree with that. You're okay to do that. That's the whole point of a rational discourse. I don't expect that we agree on everything. We
Yeah.
probably agree on most things, but I think in some aspects that shouldn't be a confrontation. I think it should just be an enlightenment into each other's minds and their perspectives of thought. I don't know. I might be fucking. It's fucking 6 a.m. when we're recording this, or now it's 7. But
It's only 4 a.m. for me.
yeah, you're a fucking trooper for staying up.
Listen, it was already it's been a fucking day.
You're
so
afraid to go
far.
to sleep because of that fucking thing. Wait, what? Why has it been a day? What's going on?
Our work has just been stupid. My boss is an idiot. He decided to change all of our sales stuff for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then change it to being starting today. Literally 5 hours before today started. So
Yeah.
super fun.
My old manager had all the schedule out and everything. They moved her like an hour before I got a text. And that happened to be when my car fucking broke down and my phone was dead. So I couldn't call. And then nobody wants to pick up me as a hitchhiker. So I guess I just lost my cuteness. So I had to fucking walk like 5 hours home. It was fucking horrible. But then I plug in my phone and now I'm working Thanksgiving, which I don't care for. It doesn't matter. It's just a fucking day. But what's interesting is that every store is now doing Black Friday early. And I think that's good because I talked about it before they announced all these new sales. They do it on one day and they watch you fight over each other for the dumbest shit like fucking animals. It's bread and circus continuing over and over again. And I'm actually surprised that they do it earlier now, at least so there's no dangers. There's people getting their fucking heads stomped in over a fucking plasma screen TV that they can put in their kitchen.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah. It's so fucking funny because I've worked a lot of retail jobs. I've never once worked Black Friday because I always quit that job in like the beginning of November and move on to a different job right after Black Friday. I have no idea why I did it every time, but that's just how it worked out. Like I did fast food, 2 fast food jobs through high school and then like just out of high school. Both of them I quit right before Black Friday. And then I worked at Sears and Kmart and somewhere else, but I don't remember where now.
Let me ask you a more serious question. What do you have anything that you feel like you need to do? Not like getting a haircut, like need
What
to
do you
do.
mean?
Because I have things for me that I feel like I need to do. I haven't done yet. I've been watching, like I said, anime. First of all, a lot of scenes that could turn into a gay porn very fucking quick. I have to skip through that shit. I was like, I don't want to fucking watch a dude fuck his teacher. Let me fucking skip through this. But maybe I am. Would I be sexist if I would say it would be cool if it was 2 chicks?
I think legally, yes.
Damn it. I swear to look, my cousin's gay, my grandmom's a lesbian. I have no fucking bias at all. But I look at like things that you need to do. And I think for me, I have a lot of things that I still want to do. And also I feel that I need to do that I'm not doing. And I think that takes time. And I'm wondering if you have anything on your mind or soul that's still honing there, like you feel like you need to do. Because I feel like if someone gave you a shot, I wish I had that shot to give you, but you would be able to accomplish so much because you have the mind and the creativity for that. It's just very hard because you would think in a society that was built on creativity, there's not a lot of room for people who are creatives because there's
Yeah,
so much of it out there.
unless you know people, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely things that like I have things that I'm like working on that I've been working on for at least like a year or so. The book that I mentioned earlier is like the thing I'm closest to getting done with. I only have 4 chapters left, 3 or 4 chapters, I don't remember, left to write, and then I'm done with it and I can like send it off as a manuscript. And then I have another book that I was working on when I was 18. I got it down to like the last 6 chapters and then I stopped writing it because I just kept doing other things. And like I would love to finish that. I just need to find the chapters. I have a bunch of flash drives and hard drives that I just don't know where it is. And I didn't title anything, so I don't know how to find them. They're just all untitled Word documents, and there's so many of them.
I just imagine if you get big, like if you got like Michael Jackson
Mm.
fame, like just for in the writing community or something, and then someone comes across like all your old shit and he's like, I got all this fucking, I could see the fucking documentary about it now.
Listen, there is some choice stuff in the world. Uh, that definitely I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I'm fine that it's out there, but also I should never have put it out into the world. Like, I've written a few things. I have this one like really shitty story that I did. It was a co-writing thing that I did with this girl all the way back in 2011, and we did it through text because we were super bored. So we are like, we're gonna write a story together. So each text is like a different line of the story. It's the worst thing I've ever read in my entire life, but I published it, and I definitely like, I think about it a lot. Like, that's one of the first things of my like actual content before I became like an actual journalist or whatever. That is just out there on the internet. I think it's on a Tumblr somewhere. So like,
Do you think it's just because of time? You think differently? Maybe it was definitely good at the time for you to be able to
I
publish
was
it.
definitely good at the time. First of all, it was like, so I had just moved from Arizona to Nebraska, and like this was a friend from Arizona, so like it was a way for us to like stay connected and stuff like that. And like I would probably still rewrite that kind of the same way, a little bit hornier probably, if we're being honest. Uh, but that's just because life is horny nowadays. You know how life is.
I've never read a book where I've gotten a boner from it. So I've read a lot of sexual books. I just don't get aroused by words that you use. You could fucking type in the word boondoggle. It's not going to turn me on.
Oh fuck, gotta go.
Yeah, just fucking run out the room. He said that it's like having a safe word. I guess if your safe word popped up, I guess it would be like that way. But I think I'm not probably the same way with my podcast. There are episodes when I first started doing video where the light was a different, wasn't a yellow light like I'm using now, and my screen lit up the way it is. I had this little light that was hooked to my computer that I bought for maybe 50 episodes, so that made my skin really yellow.
Hmm.
But you look at some of those videos, I look like a fucking Make a Wish kid. I have a fucking beanie on or something. It looks like I have no hair. I have the biggest bags under my fucking eyes because I just was not sleeping. I was just doing a bunch of shit. Um, and fucking my skin looks pale. The lighting, everything. And then it's kind of at
Yeah.
the point where it's at now where I look somewhat tolerable. And I think I regret all those things. I would love to scrub them off the fucking thing, but at the same time, they're there. There's episodes that I've in the very, very beginning where I'm just talking and I'm like, yeah, it's like I'm trying to. It seems like I'm pretentious as fuck in the beginning. Like I have a buddy that's listening to like 1,000 something episodes so far. He's trying to listen to all of them. He's listened from like 400 on, and now I think he's only at
Hmm.
the 100 mark. And he goes, "You could tell it's more about you in the beginning. Like you talk more about your own personal experiences, and then later it becomes more like a kind of like a guest type thing, and then it becomes back to the conversation aspect, which is what it's at now." And I don't know. I think you evolve, and I think if I would have started podcasting with the level I'm at now, I definitely would be a hell of a lot like better. But I think you got to keep working. This was built. I mean, I'm not the best at all. I'm not even close to really good. I'm slightly above average, but I think I
Hmm.
can have a conversation and hold my own pretty fucking well with anybody. And I think that's important aspect on just whatever show you really create, depending on the more work you do, it's practice, man. That fucking effort gets put into it. It's got to be good for you because you can watch like 1,000 Ways to Die. You can just watch it and look up the most horrific stories, and then you learn, and you can find
Yeah.
different ways and more creative aspects to do the same thing or have the same results, but then do it in a different, better, your own unique way. And that comes with being involved into it. A lot of people want to do something and necessarily they might be good at it. But a lot of
Hmm.
people want to do something with having no fucking clue on how to do it. And I'm like, they didn't get to level 1,000. They didn't get there immediately. They fucking worked their way up. When I was painting, my very first painting was good, but it wasn't a fucking Bob Ross. I've gotten better over time or more I've done, but I'm still not fucking Bob Ross.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I feel that for sure. I definitely at the beginning I was a little more comfortable with the talking part of the podcast, because for like 3 years, uh, I have this problem with driving, which is that I'm always tired constantly. and so I would
Have you
technically
have
fall asleep
okay? Have you
while
looked at
driving.
what that is? Have you tried to find out what that is? Are you diabetic?
I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not even close to
'Cause that
diabetic.
I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just saying that's a major symptom
No,
of
no.
being diabetic.
Trust me, I know. Yeah, I've every time I go to the doctor, they're like, "We're gonna check you for diabetes," and then they get my blood results back, and they're like, "Oh, you're like not even close to being even
They're like
pre-diabetic."
bummed out that
Okay,
it wasn't
wow.
diabetic.
Yeah, they're like, "Wow, it's not your fatness that's your problem." Interesting. Okay. So yeah, so I used to like fall asleep while driving, but it's because I was driving like 45 minutes each way, and then it was like after a long day, no matter what. I was driving like super far in like just shitty lands, basically, like Nebraska and North Carolina, but not the fun parts of those places. And so what I did was I was like, all right, I'm just gonna record myself talking to myself about things. And so I just did that for like two or so years, 100 episodes, basically, 100 recordings. And not only did it keep me up, but it like kept my thought processes intact a little more than I think.
Processes.
No, I'm saying processes.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
was an English major. I study linguistics.
Onward.
So I just like I think that helped me a lot with like the actual like talking part, because it's hard for people who aren't crazy, uh who don't talk to themselves
I talk
constantly.
to myself all the time.
Yeah, but here's the thing, not everyone does that.
Mostly I rant to myself.
Oh,
I'll be
absolutely.
in a store. I'm like, why the fuck do you stop your cart in the middle of the goddamn aisle? Like my brain just goes on these fucking, and I gotta be careful because sometimes I'll say it.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
like, oh
It'll
shit.
it'll fucking come out your open mouth. I get it. I feel that.
It's
I
fucking
I
horrible.
had a lot of that this afternoon when I was talking to my boss through fucking Slack. I was just like, why the fuck are you doing this now? I'm fucking busy. Just let me go do shit.
I was at
I love it.
work and I'm like everyone says exactly who I am on the show. I am in real life. Like I'm just
Mhm.
funny. I just try and crack jokes all the time. And it's good for a show. It's not good for in person because everyone's like Jesus
Oh, for
Christ.
sure.
But I'm like sitting there and they're like, I had my car. I got when my car broke down. So there's someone I really couldn't stand, and I was dealing with them at work, and it was just like I was just like silent, staring at them. And they went away after like 10 minutes of just ranting or talking about something that was nagging your ear off. Always they come in and talk about a broken fucking treadmill. They always try and find what's
Mhm.
broken in the 10 minutes that they're there and then fucking feel the need to be like, this still isn't fixed. I'm like, and that's what I did in front of
Hand
them.
him a screwdriver.
And that's what I did in front of them. And then my buddy, he's my supervisor now, goes, are you okay? I'm like, you ever just be around someone and you're like, just fucking breathe. Just fucking breathe. Like that's it. Just one noise and I'll OJ your ass so fucking quick. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And they're like, that's psychotic. And I'm like, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
I never think like that, but Jesus Christ. And he goes, oh my, I could tell you're mad because you're never like that. I'm like, yeah, I was like, just fucking, I said the OJ thing. Now I've been looking into the OJ thing. I always bring him up on my show sometimes,
Mhm.
but chopped the lady's head come clean off. I was like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I only know one person in the world that could actually do that too. Where it's like you would see me out on my front porch with my hands behind my head, just like fucking waiting for the cops to come.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I get it.
I get it. Yeah. I've definitely had at least two of those people where I wouldn't necessarily feel bad about it.
Until it happens. And then you're like, oh, fuck. I fucking
No.
cursed them.
Actually, in high school, I did almost chop a kid's head off. Because I was in this it was a weird fucking class.
I fucking guess so.
It was a weird fucking class. We did gardening and welding and a bunch of like physical stuff. I don't know. And we were out at the like town square in Podunk, Nebraska, and we were trimming hedges. And I had these fucking giant hedge trimmers, and this dude for the entire fucking week just wouldn't leave me alone. He's like a very backwards ass motherfucker, and he was just getting on my nerves. And then he fucking pushed me while I'm holding these fucking hedge clippers. So I fucking turned to him like with them open, and I like took a step forward, and the teacher came fucking running over to us. I was just so fucking ready to chop that dude's head off
That
in
fucking
like the
anger.
worst way possible. It's cool. I made out with his cousin later.
Damn. There was a lot of like that happened in my school. I remember one kid we were playing baseball outside, and these kids just did not like each other. So they were like going out of their way to try and like get near each other so they could push each other and just rile each other up. And this fucking kid grabbed a bat, hit the other kid up across the head with it, dude. I mean, hard
Jesus.
as shit. Where everyone's like, whoa, you heard the crack across the fucking thing. And coach walks over and just looks at him and just goes, send him to the nurse. And I'm like, what the fuck is the nurse gonna do? Put a fucking ice pack on him? End up calling the
Put a
ambulance to
fucking
come.
band-aid on
The
it. It's
ambulance was
perfectly
like
fine.
less than a mile away from our hospital, was less than a mile away from our high school. So just fucking drove up, fucking threw him in the back and fucking went off. I'm like, dude, what are we gonna talk
Goddamn.
about? That guy just almost killed somebody. He did get charged. His parents fucking sued
Okay.
his ass fucking hard. But I don't think I've ever had an instance where I've gone like, I mean, I've got, like I said, the idea of like OJ, but
Mhm.
I've never had like an actual physical thing where I've actually hit somebody and then like out of fucking anger before.
I generally don't hit people out of anger. I was bullied a lot, but that was their
Same.
mistake. Because as soon as you put your hands on me, the fucking doors are open.
Yeah.
It's not an anger thing.
That's how I am.
This is legally
Defensive.
self-defense now.
I tell people, I say, I'm not an aggressive person. I'm reactionary. That's
Yep.
all I am.
Yeah. Fully reactionary here.
Set some fires and shit. I'm reaction. Smokey the Bear told me not to. That pissed me off. Don't fucking tell me what I can't do. I'm gonna take it from an imaginary bear wearing a fucking wildlife hat. Fix global warming, bitch. Yeah, just
All those ads of you wouldn't steal a car. Fucking too late.
Oh, all right, Nick, I gotta wrap it. It's getting on that
No
2 hour
problem.
mark.
Oh shit. Is it really?
Yeah. About
Fuck.
10 more minutes.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Well, we talked way before the episode started recording.
Yeah, that's right.
We were talking for about 20 minutes before. So about the hour and a half episode.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Anything you want to?
It's already, hold on. It's already happened. I can't say no now. We're already past that point.
Would you? I like to ask her consent afterwards, and then.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't think that's how it legally works, but all right.
Let me change your mind. And then fucking where can people find How Will I Die podcast that I'm now subscribed to on Apple?
Yeah, you can find it on Apple and Spotify and like several dozen third-party podcast sites. I don't know why it's on there, but it is. And then you can also find us on me. It's just me. You can find me on Twitter at HWIDIEPOD. And also you can find me in person if you're in the LA area at Los Angeles Comic Con on December 5th at 11:30 a.m.
Is that all you have to promote?
As it I will have new episodes soon.
That's perfect.
Because of that.
I'll make sure I link it all in the description. I appreciate you for
For
giving
sure.
me your time, and stay tuned for the episode Out of the Blank.